edition of Our House. My name's Claire.
I'm Paul.
And today we've got a really special guest on. Now, I've been such a huge fan of this
Super
guest.
excited on this one, man.
I've been such a fan since, dare I say it, the 90s, and his first ever appearance in Hollyoaks.
The cool thing is I think his character was billed as coming from Stockport, which is where we're recording this from now.
Yeah. And we followed him through the ups and downs, reality TV, celebrity status. I won't keep you hanging any longer. Housemates, here he is. He's Paul Danan.
Hey!
Hey! Hi, guys.
We had a little debate, actually. Is it Danan or Danan?
Is it Danan or Danan? Danan.
Danan.
Yeah, Danan, people say, but it's Danan.
Danan.
Yeah, it's got more of a ring to it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I say, I'm super excited, and we have followed you, since the start of your career.
That's so nice. That's really kind to hear, and that's lovely. It means that you genuinely know me.
Yeah. Well, that was the best era of Hollywood.
It's kind of weird because he's sat here now, and obviously we're doing this particular podcast through a slightly different platform, so we can see Paul, and it just feels like he's just sat in the front room chilling with us. That's nice. It's already good.
I'm in your house.
He's a housemate.
Hollyoaks, best era.
Best era of Hollyoaks, I reckon.
Everyone says that, right? So many people just go, it's not the same. You cannot beat the early days of Hollyoaks when there was, I suppose they concentrated more on kind of a certain few of the cast. The cast wasn't huge. There wasn't just like millions of storylines going on. It was very, I don't know. It felt like there was more. I don't know. I mean, I know it's done so well over the years, and it's in its 25th year anniversary this year.
Yeah.
And they actually played some old episodes.
Oh, I watched them. Yeah, in lockdown. It was great.
And it's great, and everything. And I'm just so proud to have been a part of something so cool. But you do get that, like, from a lot of people where they go, it's just not the same. It was so good back then. Proper come down TV.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Tony's still there though, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll be there. He's like Ken Barlow.
So obviously you're well known for your acting. You've not just done Hollyoaks, so you've done theatre and films. Most recently, you're in a very exciting film, aren't you?
That's it. You've got me at a good time, because next week in the UK, I've got the release of The Living Dead, which, formerly known as Are We Dead Yet? And it's now called The Living Dead because, I don't know, they changed the name, and it actually finally, because of that, got sold to America and Canada. I think it's got more of a ring to it. I actually like Are We Dead Yet? But hey ho. What an amazing film. First time ever done like proper urban comedy, scary heist. I don't want to call it a horror, because all you horror fans out there will go, well, it's not really a horror. It's scary. It's very, very funny, and and there's a lot of great people in it, especially people that you would know nowadays through their fame from, say, Instagram and the internet, and comedians and people that don't really get a chance to do acting but are naturally born actors and born performers, get a chance to really kind of be in this. And even musicians like Professor Green, the rapper, and
you got man's like Hacks in there, haven't you?
That's it, man. Like Hacks is great in it, and a real natural. And so me, him, and Jessica Jane Stafford, and Ori Stylo, and this guy Bradley, we're kind of like the leads. But us four, like, Bradley's on the other side, and he's this up and coming great actor, but us four are kind of these members of this gang, or kind of gang, a crew that does a robbery, and it kind of goes a bit tits up, if I can say that, and we get chased by the police, and actually, I'm not going to say what the police who chases us, but basically it is we think it's the police, and then we end up at this very, very real scary mass mansion, this haunted house type place, it's it was actually used for many haunted programs, and I mean, we were frightened when we were filming in there. Absolutely, it was so scary, and especially at night. It was an old nursing home, and a lot of people had died there. It added to that atmosphere, and that that real kind of it's just perfect for Halloween. So and it's taken a while to come out, and we filmed it a couple of years ago, but I've seen it. We had the premiere, and it's good. It's really, and I'm not just saying it. I wouldn't promote it if I thought it was shit. It's brilliant. It's really funny. It's some good performances and great story, and your friend of yours, Freddie Nwaka Kruger, he's a great director, and he's already won an award for it, and I hope that it gets that word of mouth, where people watch it on Amazon or iTunes or wherever they get it from. So next week it will be available on everywhere, on all the platforms. So no, I'm really chuffed, and it's so good to do film. I love filming. I love that vibe of being on set, and
Yeah. So just again, if anyone wants to kind of get it for Halloween, kind of have a little bit of a scare, where can we get it?
So you can get it. You can pre-order it now on iTunes, which is I suppose you'd watch it on Apple TV, and it's $9.99. It's not loads. You can rent it for like a couple of $5, not even. And on Amazon, you can watch it on Amazon now in America and Canada, but you can rent it or buy it on Amazon from next week, the 26th of October. You can the minute you get it, you subscribe to it or you buy it, you can watch it there and then. It's it's great. So just in time for Halloween, and then Microsoft Store and places like that,
cool,
which I've not even heard of. Hey, so really excited, because I tried to get it on Amazon on Friday night, and then it was like, no, it's only America and Canada, you can't get it till next week. So I was gutted, but I pre-ordered it, and also you can get it on DVD and Blu-ray, and you can pre-order that now on DVD and Blu-ray, and I suppose it will come in the post ready for next week. So really, really cool, really, and it's supporting British film. The whole kind of British film industry is on its arse at the moment because of COVID, and actors are really struggling. I'm really struggling with theatre work that I had, a play that I had that's just not happening, panto not happening, but managed to be part of this amazing thing for the NHS called The Gift, the musical, and it's with lots and lots of different celebrities, and we've all Michael Head, great writer, who I've been in many plays with him. He's an actor and a writer, and he wrote this panto that covers all pantos in one, and managed to get like every big name possible, and all my scenes were Joe Pasquale, and it's just hilarious. And Tina Malone from Shameless is in it, and you've got like Abs from Five, Shane Lynch, you've got Vanessa Feltz, loads of really big names out there, and all the money goes to the NHS. And what it is a panto that you can watch on Amazon at Christmas time, for like a tenner or something like that. And so all the kids, instead of missing out on panto this year, they get to kind of watch it in their living room, in their house.
That's brilliant.
That's cool, man.
So is that all recorded, ready to go for Christmas?
All filmed, all done. We just did it about I must have done it about 3-4 weeks ago, and they're just editing it now, and it will be ready to be released for Christmas. And all everything goes to the NHS for doing such a sterling job, for through this time that we're going through. And I think that's great, because kids and adults love a bit of panto at Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually one of my questions in terms of how COVID's affected your career at the minute. Have you got anything kind of future planned, or is it kind of all come to a standstill?
Yeah, I mean, what I have done is I've taken on a big project because I worked for years for the Amy Winehouse Foundation. I developed a really cool thing because I used to go into schools for their resilience program and deter them from going down the wrong road. Not tell them not to, not there to tell them what to do, but if people were suffering from mental health or addiction, and they were drinking or using drugs or self-harming or eating disorder or whatever, and they were kind of having these behaviors because they were suffering, and they didn't really know why. It was like just self-soothing themselves in a way. Then we were going there and we were trying, I would tell them my story and, how it just doesn't discriminate. It comes from childhood, from trauma, from, who knows where. A lot of the places, a lot of the times it's just, stuff that we didn't even realize. And we're just trying to, when exams are too much or stress, pressure. I mean, I didn't even know that I had ADHD, I only found out a few years ago. Actually not even a year and a half ago, and it's mad how these things are just hidden and you don't realize that there's a problem. And I know everyone when they're younger kind of has a drink or joint or whatever it may be, and thinks nothing of it, but it really can progress, and especially if you're using things like that for the wrong reasons, and and you're trying to escape, and it's obviously not what you want to do. There is help. There is a lot of people that suffer with the same thing, and and we're all in it together. And basically, through my sobriety, I kind of got with the Amy Winehouse Foundation, and while I was doing these talks, I was realizing that it would be good to get them up and actually act out scenarios that they might find themselves in, instead of just talking to them. Actually get them to act it out and do role plays and stuff like that. So I developed this acting drama program, and it's been amazing, and it's been really successful, and they've done it in schools, and I don't do that with them as such anymore. I'm always doing stuff with them, but I've now decided to kind of come to Bristol because I've been up here for the last, say, 4 or 5 months, and I wanted to do it here, but just with some local recovery people and companies we have in London, WDP, which is Westminster Drug Project. Here there's BDP, which is Bristol Drug Project, and DHI is another one. And all these people that I kind of contacted and told them my ideas, and what about getting people in recovery to come and, do this kind of drama acting workshops and lessons and stuff, just to speak to people in COVID, to use their imaginations and to get out of the house if they're struggling, because as addicts we need to connect, we need to do things with other people that understand each other, understand what it's like, because the whole thing of being on our own or being at home and not really able to go anywhere, and the shops aren't really open and everyone's in masks, and it's all a bit and a lot of meetings aren't open, and a lot of things are getting worse. Obviously, where you guys are, it's probably really quite bad at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, tier 3 now.
Tier 3 for us. Yeah.
Wow. So exactly. So it's this outlet to be able to kind of get together, and even if it's not yet, we're hoping that in December, especially in Bristol, where it is still all right, to get together and kind of come up with, make some plays out of through this drama stuff, and do something for the Recovery Festival they do up here next year, and take this into schools and to uni, because there's a big university in Bristol, sixth forms, kids that are kind of starting to use drugs and drink, and actually they're doing it for a laugh, but actually maybe they're doing it more than they should, and they don't realise the progression is severe, and it can get really bad, and it becomes you know, sooner or later a problem. You know, just to try and stop that from going too far. So by going into schools and stuff like that, you know, doing what I did with the Amy Winehouse Foundation, and getting them to, when they act out these scenarios, you know, there's different things that they could do. They could join in, you know, they're at a park, someone passes them a drink or a drug, and they feel peer pressured into doing it, and they don't really want to. Some people, you know, you can act it out where you do it. You know, act it out where you say no and you walk away, or where you say no and you still stay, and what's the best outcome. So when it happens to them in the real world, they know what to do. They know that they feel strong enough to say, no, that's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to do. And by talking to people that have been there, you know, and telling them, look, you know, this is where it could go. It's a really, really good way. So helping people in recovery and that are struggling, not just, you don't have to just be clean and sober. You know, people that are just really not sure why they're doing it, and, you know, just a chance to use their imaginations. A lot of people are on their computers all the time, or on, you know, and just all that technology stuff. It's nice to just be free, like back in the day where we used to, you know, just
unplug.
Unplug. Sorry, I know that was a bit all over the place, but I know what I mean.
That makes perfect sense.
I think it's brilliant that, you know, you've obviously been down that path yourself, and you're utilising your skills to help educate and stop other people going down that path as well. It's something that, like, when you were talking about it, I wish they'd had kind of that sort of stuff at my school, you know, when I was growing up. It's something
it only takes like a couple of people to reach out from you working on a project like that to make it all worthwhile, even one person, you know. And that's something that, especially from the creative standpoint of view, will speak to people in volumes, something that I feel anyway.
And a lot of people with that, you know, addictive gene, or that you know, that way, are very creative and very sensitive and very kind of spiritual, and like to be, you know, to have great imaginations. You know, a lot of so many people have suffered from this that are so talented, and, you know, and ways of you know, escaping in a way is to play characters and to draw, or to, you know, or I don't know, even skateboarders or surfers, or, like, I don't know, it's just that outlet. And this is another way of having an outlet, you know. And I think being confined in a house, it's just so the opposite to what we need. And you know, and we don't have a choice at the moment. So this is just an idea that you know, something that I think could really grow and help a lot of people. And it's fun, you know. It's something that could be really fun. And then to get to perform, you know, to produce a play and to produce a you know, a good performance. And it doesn't have to be that subject about, you know, addiction. It could be anything, but there's so much, especially with the way mental health is nowadays, and how it's more, you know, noticed and more accepted, and you know, it's taken more seriously now. This is the time where we really need, you know, to try and get as much help around it as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it true you've got your own drama school or acting school?
Well,
so does it tie with that?
This is it. You know, I've been doing that when I was really struggling. God, some guy just was like, you know, I was gambling in this Ladbrokes, and this guy came in and was like, man, you're such a good actor, what are you doing in here? And I was just like, I'm just, you know, I don't know, I'm not really got much work, or I don't know what. I was feeling sorry for myself. And he was like, well, why don't you open a drama school? And do you know what, this guy was amazing, and he took me to the park. We sat down, we told him some stories, came out with some great ideas. Then we went to the town hall, ended up hiring a hall out, and he was a printer as well, a graphic designer, and he printed me a load of flyers, and then within like literally a month, I just had a full acting class. It was mad. And I was teaching kids, you know, it was like an after school kind of drama club that then went on to like a proper, like, you know, drama school, and you know, it was independent. It was mine, and you know, it wasn't associated with anyone, but it was great. And you know, and then I did adults and one-to-ones, and the people, amazing how many people like really want to act and enjoy it. And then I started producing plays and directing them with the kids and putting them on at the local theatre, and it's great. And that for me is what I needed. And so from that, and then because of that, I came up with the idea to do it with recovery, a recovery drama-based education thing with the Amy Winehouse, and now kind of want to bring it here to Bristol, where actually the Amy Winehouse Foundation don't do anything, and they're really supportive. I speak to Jane Winehouse and Mitch all the time, and you know they're always doing great work, and you know they really support me with doing it here. And I just think it's great. It's a good thing, and I think it can help people be educated about mental health and addiction through a visual way and a fun way, and you know it's not just someone going, don't do drugs, it's bad. It's like, you know, like not loads of kids or loads of people will listen to that. They have to get up and actually, you know, do something for it to sink in. Not saying it's going to be the answer, but it's something that you know, for me, I remember things when I've watched them or when I've taken part in something.
Yeah, I only really remember from like when I was a kid that the biggest campaign that had any impact was like the Grange Hill one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Because it was a song, and it was, you know, it was
something that people could relate to. Yeah,
very true.
So yeah, sounds like some really positive things are happening for you at the minute. I want to reminisce a little bit and go a little bit fangirl on you, because one of my favourite programmes ever is Calum, Fran and Dangerous Danan.
I love
that was the nuts, that show, man. It really was.
I absolutely loved it. And I think was it ITV? I think they need to put that back on the app or something so we can revisit that. But I absolutely loved it. Do you have fond memories from that time?
I really do. I mean, you know, again, like, it's funny because I was literally straight out of rehab on that plane to go to Texas, and I remember the therapist, like the counsellor, like literally on the phone to me while I was taking my seat, going, "Don't do it, don't do it." And I was going, "What are you talking about? I'm fine," you know. And I was like, "I'll be all right. Don't be stupid. We're not going to drink. We're not going to." What rubbish that was. You know, the minute we got, you know, but you know, it's fine because it was a great time with the boys, and you know, we'd done Love Island, Celebrity Love Island.
Yeah, that's how it came about, wasn't it? You were all on Love Island together,
Yeah. And we didn't really get on that well on Celebrity. I mean, we got on, actually. We did get on, but him and Fran and Calum were kind of like best buddies, and I was a bit like on the outside, and I think they just thought I was mental.
You were the maverick. You were the maverick. And then I always remember the clip of him showing you with a machine gun. It was like...
Yeah. Well, exactly, and this is it, and that's why we called, you know, in a way we called it Calum, Fran and Dangerous Danan, because everything I did was just ludicrous, and like, you know, we were meant to do it on Harley Davidsons, and I ended up falling off the bike on the way to my test for the over 500 cc's, and they had passed their bike tests, so they were ready to ride Harleys, and you know, and when I fell and broke my shoulder, I was like, guys, we can't do it, we can't, you know, and they were like, the ITV2 were like, we have to do it, and I was like, well, we can't do it on bikes, and they were like, well, screw it, we'll get like a Cadillac and we'll get a convertible and we'll do it in that. So we got this 1962 convertible Cadillac, all three of us, cameras all like linked up to the car, with like a van that was following us with camera crew the whole way, but they couldn't talk to us. They weren't allowed to. They took our phones, our money, our bank cards, everything, and they wouldn't tell us where we were going. They just would like, you know, basically they kind of told us, you know, this is the next stop, this town. So we started in Amarillo, Texas, and the minute we got there, you know, we got in the car, and about 20 minutes later, the Cadillac broke down, and it just kept happening. It was such an old Caddy, but beautiful, and that's how it was. And we had to earn money along the way, like the Simple Life with Paris
Paris and
Hilton.
Nicole, yeah.
And Nicole Richie, and we had to work and earn money, and sometimes we were starving, and we had to like split a burger, and we had to work in all different places.
So that was real, yeah, because I always think these things are kind of set up a little
well
bit.
They are now, they're all set up now. Back then they were real as anything. The fight was real, the drunk was real, breaking down was real, everything, not having any money or phone or anything was so real, and that's what makes it good TV, because you got us three, you're gonna, something's got to happen.
You got the real emotions in there, haven't
you? Yeah. And now a lot of shows are so contrived, like The Only Way Is Essex and Made in Chelsea. It's all like, and even Love Island now, the directors come on set and say, right, you get with him or you do that. And back then, Celebrity Love Island, we were never interfered with. We were on our own on an island, just to get on with it. And that's I think that's what makes it, really, is that you're not directed, so it's not contrived, it's not fake, it's not but that show was great. It was really good, and we were going to do a second one in Australia, but for some reason we didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know.
Are you still in touch with the guys?
Yeah, and now we're all really good friends.
Yeah.
Fran's amazing. He's turned his life around completely. He's really successful. He's got a great a music group that he's with called the Futuristic Polar Bears. They're huge in the dance world. Calum, I see around, love him to bits. He's great. Calum's always busy doing whatever he's doing. Some PA somewhere. But yeah, and it's good times, and we look back at them and think, wow, we were so young, and and all that. But no, very good times. And the same with the Hollyoaks people. I'm friendly with a few of them still, and I'll always be mates with all of them, but like ones I just keep in touch with. And you just look back at it and think, wow, we were just like 19, we were so young, and you have all that fame and money, and no one tells you how to deal with it. No one gives you advice. You just figure it out for yourself, and hence the reason why it can go so tits up in a way, and also become so amazing. And you learn, and you grow up, and you get maturer, and you have family, and your own children, and it's just like, you think, wow, how lucky I was, really. But it'd be good to kind of help the new people coming up to have more awareness around that kind of intense success and fame and money, and because it can really be detrimental to a person, especially their mental health, like the people we've seen with Love Island that have committed suicide and all that stuff. It's really sad, especially the ones that aren't celebrities, that 1 year they're famous, the next year they're nothing, and and they haven't got a craft, they're not actors, they're not musicians, they're not, they're just these good looking guys and girls that go on a show that are replaced the year after, and that year they become so big, and then it's kind of gone, and that can be really soul destroying and really dangerous,
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, there's also the kind of social media element as well. So you're thrust into the
I
limelight,
mean.
and then there's so many horrible people on social media that can really,
it's definitely effective if you've, because some people use trolling and hate as a full-time job themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
And
these people need to fucking go and get a life, to be honest. Sorry,
I
swear.
No, they do.
But and then the same aspect, when you're getting like nearly 1 million followers all of a sudden because you were on some show, and it's happened so quick, and you're getting all this money and these endorsements, and even the girls, I mean, come on, how many times do we want to see you in your blooming knickers or what? It's sad. It's actually really sad that's what they think there was, that's just how good they, I don't know, like that's all they think they're good for. And these young kids look up to that, and it's not really something to strive for, what, to get your boobs out or whatever, or not out, but it just feels really superficial. And it's a shame, because back then none of us were like that. We never had any of that. And because we were, you know, we had a talent, we had a craft, we had something that we were, you know, and I don't know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm just saying that, you know, that kids don't have to follow that. They don't have to aspire to being that. And it's a shame that it's getting saturated, you know, for this new kind of thing to become a what do they call it, an influencer,
yeah. It's such a weird word, that as well, isn't it?
It's a famous for nothing.
So it's you know, and that's, you know, if I could change anything with this whole social media world, it would be that's why it's great to, you know, when you see comedians doing videos, when you see actors doing monologues, when you see kind of real good stuff on then that's good, you know. But when you, like through lockdown, you know, I was doing loads of videos to promote my podcast. Joe Trissini, I don't know if you saw any of his stuff. You know, with the dancing, you know, that's something to really think, wow, that's great, that's funny, that's talented, that's, you know. But when you just look at someone pouting, like what?
Exactly.
it's I don't know, and I think there's we've got these brains, you know, it's good to be more creative than just but you know, everyone it's interesting, and and that goes away, that soon doesn't, you know, it doesn't last forever, that type of stuff. So it's important to kind of get some education around, not just want to be famous for being famous, you know.
Exactly. And you mentioned your podcast there. I'm glad you mentioned that. Avid listeners here, so tell us a little bit more about your podcast. In fact, did you have a fact?
A fact? What, number one, aren't you, on iTunes for film and TV?
That's it. Well,
I think that's a bit of a streak as well, isn't it?
Yeah, not today, we're not, but we were, and then over lockdown we were, you know, it was amazing. We got loads of brilliant guests because it was really easy to get them because they were at home
doing nothing, bored.
So that was, you know, and then, you know, every day I'd do a video kind of you know, saying like, you know, promoting who I'd have on that night or that day, and you know, it just did so well and people were loving it, and it went into I think it was number 5 or number 3, you know, in the iTunes charts, and that, from doing it from, you know, your bedroom, like you guys, you do it from your house, it's such a reward, it's such a good feeling. You feel so, you know, just so proud and so happy that people are listening, and, you know, and it's mental health and the arts. It's called The Morning After with Paul Danan, and, you know, it's on all podcast platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all Acast, everything, and it's done really well, and it's something that really kept me going, and it still keeps me going to this day. I was doing it every single day. There was an episode, a new one every single day through the summer, from March, you know, and I do it with a company called 1129 Media, and Mark is my sidekick. You must say Mark is great.
He's awesome.
And Sam Delaney, who's, you know, a really, really great radio presenter and TV presenter, is his company with Mark, and, you know, they're great guys, and they really believe in me, and I've kind of done stuff with them on talk radio for years, and it's just, they've given me a chance to kind of tell my stories and, you know, interview others like yourselves do, and, you know, interesting culture and the arts, and then, you know, obviously people that you know, suffer with any kind of addiction or mental health stuff, and how they've got through it, and how they're dealing with it every day, especially with the current climate, because, you know, it has a real impact on people that are creative, like I was saying. So I'm really proud of it, and I hope it can. Well, I know it will continue. It'll be great to get you guys on. turn the
Yeah,
table.
we'll come in.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah. Awesome.
Got some crazy stories, haven't we?
Yeah, we can tell you
I
some.
bet you have.
Yeah, so that's great. So we've got the film, we've got the podcast. What's next?
Right, so as I was saying, doing this recovery stuff, the recovery drama stuff, and taking that into universities and sixth form and schools, and helping kids with that, and also community of people that are addicts and alcoholics and sufferers of mental health by using drama, and then what I have done over the years of the times when I've not been great and had to go into places to get well. I've been writing, and I've been writing like a Netflix black comedy called The Urge, and because you always got an urge for something, and it's like Orange is the New Black, but rehab. And with the backstories but mixed, not just girls, and I'm like, really, I've got a pilot that it's all finished, and I'm just please God going to have that really concentrate on that to come out in the next year or so, and obviously my really well it's been amazing, my quite famous the Nanogram Instagram account, which is Paul Danan Official. It's my comedy account. It's a parody account that I do with three great guys, and it's been phenomenal. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you should check it out. It's based on all things 90s and noughties. Okay. It's at Paul_Danan_official.
Right.
And it's called the Nanogram, and it's just brilliant. And these writers that I work with, the young guys, and they basically one day would just typed in the word China Whites, which is an old club that we had in London that we used to go to and fall out of and get in trouble, and with a lot of celebrities, and they found these pictures, and they said, we've got to do an Instagram account, and because they're great writers, comedy writers, and who can we do? And they thought, let's do Paul Danan. And then I found out about it, and like, it's hilarious. Like, they use every word you can use until it says like no more words allowed, like on Instagram, and it's whole big captions underneath a really funny picture, and when I found out about it, I was like,
I've got it.
Yeah. Lee Ryan phoned me up and went, Paul, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you telling people that I was double dropping Mitsubishis and watching the plate spinning at Yo Sushi till 4 a.m? And I was like, what? And I didn't even know what he was on about. And then I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, I need to get in contact with these guys. And basically, over the last few years, we've become best friends. We've become partners, writers, and we've just done amazing with it. We've got nearly 100,000 followers, and we've got T-shirts, and we did this whole thing on 2 pints of lager. So it's called 2 packets a packet and a packet a packet, and basically these T-shirts, and it's really corrupt and below the belt, but at the same time it's such parody that it's so ludicrous that obviously it's totally not true. But we've got characters like Anthea Gurner, and we've got Mick Hucknall, Uncle Mickles, who's just brilliant, and Darren Day is our guru. He's like our real he's our we pray to him. He's like our God, and it's so mentally, I don't know, it's so crazy and funny that people and the people that follow it are just amazing, like in the industry, and Evening Standard magazine called it Insta Gold, and people say that it is like the best account on Instagram. So we're really aiming towards releasing a book for we want it for Christmas, but next year, early next year, and we're going to do a sitcom out of it, and there's just loads of stuff that's going to happen. So I'm really excited about it, and and it's just got brilliant, and I'm so glad these guys picked me, But they always, they just knew that I was always amongst that kind of crazy life back then, and now these pictures are great because there are so many, and it's disposable camera. You write a little biography at the top, and it says, just a few old disposable cameras that I thought I'd get developed, and here are some of the pictures. Because back then there was no, we only had to remember those little disposable cameras, and they were great. They were great to have, and you just get really funny pictures. But really, these are pictures actually that the press kind of took when we were in all sorts of states.
Falling out of clubs.
Yeah, that's it. So and a lot of people our age, I hope you guys look younger than me, but around that time, really remember these people, remember the Darren Days and the boy band Blue and, and I don't know, like, Five and, all those great characters that we miss.
Great. So all of the things that you've discussed on this podcast, we'll put links to. So to your film, to your podcast, to your Instagram, everything like that is going to be linked below. Make sure you check absolutely everything out. I didn't realise you were so busy. Honestly, I didn't know that. I
think you've got to keep busy in this climate now, haven't you?
Yeah, and the thing is, it sounds, it is busy, but it's a lot of these things and these projects take time, and they are, stuff that really are dreams to me to make happen and to really get to the level of, a lot of them are, they've been going a year or two, but to really take them to where they could really go, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work, and a lot of no's from, people.
Yeah.
And then, you get lucky maybe, and and then you go back to the drawing board, or, like Freddie with his script, the amount of kind of times he probably had to rewrite and, get it refined until it was perfect, or until it was at least ready to shoot, and I think that's people don't realise. They always see your finishing product, but they don't realise how much work goes into scripts and things and ideas and like, it can be really soul destroying sometimes when you do get a knockback, but you just got to keep going if you really believe in something. And I think that's the message. All people never are, like, if you really believe in what you're doing, then do it and visualize it and go for it, and it will happen. And I think it's having that drive and that confidence around, believing in your project, and someone will love it and someone will do it, and if not, then film it yourself.
That's our
philosophy, really.
That's where our house came from. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, and that's it. Nike said it best, didn't they? It's true. That's what me and the boys were thinking, the Instagram boys, because we've filmed a few pilots. BBC even funded us, some money to do a pilot, 15 grand, with a production company, and it's still not gone anywhere. I had Will Mellor in it. I had Michael Greco, Dean Gaffney, really great people. And it's still, in the end, just didn't get on one of the channels. And and you think, why? But then you realise you've got to do it yourself, because once they take over and the producers of their, these big companies, like, they don't really, I don't know, they end up directing it the way they kind of want it, and you've got to be true to yourself and stick to what works and what's funny and what, so it's tough, but it's important. I have got this autobiography that I've been working on for years called Too Much Too Young, and that is in the process as well with the Instagram writers. It's more memoirs and comedy stuff, but some really, got a bit of both, sad stuff and, but very real. We thought we'd do it in that style. I really hope, and I urge you guys to read some of those captions underneath the pictures of the Instagram page, and
I'll be trolling it later.
Honestly, you'll love it, and you'll be pissing yourself, and you'll realise why we get like 15,000, likes and comments, and it's mental. From each picture, people they're so creative, so funny, and it's never too below the belt. Never out to upset or hurt anyone. It's just comedy.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. The one thing we haven't mentioned is Celebrity Big Brother, which is my way of coming back and going, look, I'm different now, but you're still you're never that different.
Who was in the house with you? I can't remember. There's been that many seasons.
There was Sarah Harding. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. It was 2017, and we had, the best for me was Sean Williamson, Barry from EastEnders, and Derek Okora, God rest his soul. And we had Sam from Made in Chelsea. We had Brandy from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We had the girl from Ad Fab. Who played what did she was the comedian in it, not Jane Horrocks, the other one, the real ditzy kind of one, and Sandy from Gogglebox. There was some great, Jordan from IB for Weekender, a couple of Americans, guy from The Bachelor, but it was just such an amazing show in the summer to do that, and to really kind of come back years later after Celebrity Love Island and show like a bit of a different me. I was sober and watching people getting drunk, thinking, fuck, I used to be really bad, I used to be like that, and just being again in that surrounding where cameras are bloody everywhere watching you, and your every move. And it was great, and it's a shame that Big Brother's stopped now. Celebrity Big Brother is no more.
I do, yeah.
And you remember the first one with Nasty Nick and all that back in the day.
yeah.
Well, I think it was over lockdown they did the best of, didn't they? And that was really good to kind of go back and reminisce a little bit.
Yeah.
It
was in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think they'll bring it back, but maybe, with a twist. Who knows?
You do it again?
I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I found it quite easy, really. A lot of people couldn't bear being locked up like that, but I suppose I'm kind of used to it with the shows I've done and the kind of rehabs I've done. I feel like it wasn't hard, but it was. You've got to have the right group of people. I think it's really important to be able to have a good bunch of people that are, that you can gel with. I don't know. We've got the jungle this year, haven't we, in Wales? That's going to be weird.
Well, that's it's on edge at the minute, isn't it? Because Wales is locked down completely, so they said it might not.
Saying, why should they get work and why should they do it, and then everyone else not be able to? So it's very contradictory. But they've spent millions, haven't they?
Oh yeah, because of restoration work as well. They've had to do on that place.
Right,
just alone,
I would be a bit gutted if I was one of the celebrities, though, not going to Australia in that Versace hotel.
It'd be one to remember, wouldn't it? Because I don't think they're going to do it again. So, but the fact they picked Wales, which is probably the worst place they could have picked because of COVID, maybe would Scotland have been any better though?
I don't know, actually.
It'd have been colder.
Colder, right.
Would you go on that if they asked you?
I think that would be superb to do a show like that. I think it's really, and it's quite credible,
I would love to see you on something like Celebrity SAS.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would be good.
I think that's a proper test of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's really, really, and they're so, oh God, what a great show to watch. I love that show.
It has you on edge, doesn't
it? They're really tough with them, aren't they?
Yeah.
But no, we'll see. Like, who knows what next year will bring, I
mean, there's so many.
But I want to thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man.
Yeah,
Quick question, how's the car?
Oh, it's absolutely. Do you know what? I was out in it just before I got here because I had something to do. That's why I was saying I can't come on till the time we started, and you know, I love it. I really do, and it's just so nice to be able to drive again, because I wasn't driving for a few years, and I said, you know, when I get my license back, I want to get myself a nice car, and I'm really made up with it. So thank you.
I've been keeping tabs on the podcast. You can hear the smile when you're talking about it on the podcast. So
you can hear what?
You can hear the smile when you're talking about it on the podcast. Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
The man with his freedom back.
Well, that's what it is. It is his freedom, you know. So yeah, wicked. All right, guys. Well, look, thank you for having me, and I look forward to hearing you. All the best.
Yes, thank you very much. See you later.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
Thanks for listening, housemates, and everything we discussed in today's podcast. We'll link all in the description, so have a look, like, share and support. Thanks for listening.